How's it going, everybody? Anthony with Dude Ranting. If you like what I have to say or offend you, I'm doing my job. So I decided to take a look at and tackle the Green New Deal. It's an interesting proposal. There's some things that sound really good, but maybe don't make a whole lot of sense in the long run. So the basis of it, I'll just jump right into it. Got a few notes here. Basis of it: in 10 years, move America to 100% wind and solar power to reduce our carbon footprint. It talks about carbon a lot in there. So if you really want to reduce carbon, just, jumping off topic here, we could go nuclear power. That's completely carbon free. I know people freak out and think Chernobyl, 3 Mile Island, whatever that one in Japan is, but those were all really old plants. The new ones are safe. I digress. Let's go back. All right. So wind and solar power is what they want. They want to get us off of coal, off of natural gas, stop everything else. Okay, that idea sounds pretty good. Problem is, we can't store the energy that we would get. We can't store enough power to even last overnight, let alone what if something happened and we needed to go off it for days. So we would have blackouts for days on end probably. We can't store that much power. It becomes a problem when the energy grid gets to 20%, 25% solar, because you have to be able to store it somewhere. If you can't store it, it's completely pointless. An option, why not go to the clean natural gas? So what it is, they burn natural gas, then they capture the emissions from that and use that to power said plant. Essentially, no carbon, no emissions from it. Maybe that's too logical. So another part of the Green New Deal, they want to make every house and building in the country energy efficient to whatever standard they're using. This would cost trillions of dollars. Not millions, not billions, trillions of dollars. So we need to spend trillions to fix all of the houses and buildings, trillions more to convert everything to wind and solar that we can't effectively store. Where's the upside of all this? And just a side note, America accounts for roughly 15% of the world's emissions according to the Resource Institute. Perhaps we should try to get China and India on board with this before we cripple our economy for something that's not going to be very effective to begin with. Now, the other part of this deal that I don't understand at all is social and racial equity. Not equality, equity. So my cynical take on that is, you're going to take from the people and the races and social people that you deem to have more and divvy it out to other people, so you're just going to Robin Hood everybody and give it out as you see fit. So who decides who gets more? Who decides that? What if one of these groups is getting more than the other? Now they're the ones that are taken from instead of the other group. This is just a big stupid thing. It has nothing to do in a climate proposal. Take this shit out, make it its own proposal, and then we can argue it on its own merits. Now, the simple thing, I believe we do need to do more to combat climate change. But this Green New Deal is a bunch of horse shit, and it's not the answer. Essentially, it's a bunch of progressive wish list things to make you feel good, but doesn't solve the problem at hand. So, since most of our electricity is from coal and natural gas, why don't we convert all the coal plants to natural gas, convert all the old natural gas to the ones that can run themselves off of the emissions? That way, we're running clean, and we can then up maybe our solar and wind power. And maybe once we do all that, we'll get to a point where the technology is caught up and we could go full. Instead of crippling our whole economy, why don't we try that? Seems to make a little more sense to me, instead of this progressive bullcrap that is just makes everybody feel good but doesn't do anything. I'm Anthony, Dude Ranting.